We'll kick off with birthdays. So this week, Rangi and Tim Page, both Friday, 5th of June. So
Same day as the Queen Rangi,
yeah. And also Baden Lloyd and Tim Page, 1 year for Wednesday, which is going pretty quick. So we've got Josh Rents ran a debrief last week that we're going to start doing a little bit more on this side that went really well. So I'll go through that first because I think that's pretty good. So they had a heap of work up on Scotts Creek, SG14 up in the hills. And that can be quite difficult. So we had somebody on scope it. So this is the debrief from the day. So he had what went well. So the scoping went well. It was well scoped. The crews knew they had some poles which required ladder access. And he had what he can improve, scoping to include most suitable EWP per site. So they had issues that nobody put down what size EWP. So they knew an EWP could reach the pole, but the larger ones were required. So it's something they can improve. So job prep the day before was a difference between completing all the tasks or not, because it was all sleeve out. So somebody, I'm not sure, can't remember who, but somebody was in here sleeving in 3 metres worth of conductors, putting sleeves on the end, saved a lot of time. As you guys would know, that would really help. So that went well. What didn't go well, more information on abnormal conductors, i.e. covered conductors. So some of the crews didn't know whether you could put a come along on straight covered conductor. So they learned that you can actually. Some guys are stripping it. Something else that went well, correct amount of guys on the job. Reece had a go at running the job, but did well with some assistance. That was a 3A stepping up to a 5, which is pretty impressive on behalf of Reece. He was supported by Leachy and Corey, so he was helped. What they can improve, so the ladder jobs spread evenly across. I think one crew had most of the ladder work, which is a little bit unfair, but they'll be right. Yeah, I think it was. I think that's just how it fell. So what went well, everyone sat in the briefing. Only one crew was switching, but they had all crews because working hours were required. What they can improve, more details on which jobs required ladders or not. So a bit of a trend there that the ladder was the biggest issue. What went well, what site activities on site, an SP by 8 o'clock, good coordination between crews and Corey running, switching and Reece running the job. An EWP broke down, so that changes to scope and more ladder work required, so that's probably why you can see the trend. They actually had more ladder work than they anticipated. But each crew put in extra to get the job completed, so the closeout was a financially good result. All work was completed and they all worked through the rain, so Rentsy's got one action out of that is to update the scope form to include EWP size. So we're going to start rolling more debriefs out of this side. That's probably me. I've done a few. So an update on the week's work. Any questions around that debrief? You guys happy to start doing them on this side? I think a lot of value. So update on the week's work. So pretty plain week this week. We got cross arms, LV poles. We got maintenance up at Nan and Cherry Gardens. So you guys are starting to assist the north, vice versa now. So you start to split. We got some project jobs on. These are mostly falling with Rentsy. Unlucky for him, but he's got a transformer, underground transformer to place up in Mount Barker. He's got a 200 kVA transformer for done to install for a school. They're doing that live. And the switchgear replacements. So you guys all heard about them. The crown bolts to RM6 units. A lot of work involved in them, so they're kicking off this week. And still the street light replacements at Nan. Switching incidents since last week, so we still at 0, which is good. It's been 32 days since our last switching incident. So that's good, very good. Our previous best was 348 days, so we're gonna beat that this time. We're gonna double that, aren't we, Cobbs?
Yeah, easy.
Triple it, easy.
Four figures.
He said we get to 1,000, he's putting the beers on as well.
Yep. Yes, it is. Not before you switch.
In the morning. So we had a near miss hazard last week at Backstrain. One of our guys, so that got into some naval on. So I'll just read out the report. So work attended toolbox last week, preparing his EWP for the day's work. at the rear of the platform, that TWP, there was a green storage bucket. You know, the green storage buckets in there had approximately 5 kilos worth of gear in it. The worker was behind the TWP ground level, pushed the green bucket to slide into position. As he slid the bucket, he felt a twinge in his lower back. I'm not sure how he pushed it, whether he pushed it to the side of it. Doesn't really matter, but he pushed it. The worker reported to the painting supervisor and requested to go home and rest. He's organised a physio visit. So, any update on that, Mark?
Yeah, well, what really happened is it's sort of changed since I've just been written in an overline, but the bucket was actually over 20 kilos, and he was just sitting on the back of the EWP, and he actually grabbed it and slid it towards him, which sort of made his back go forward, and he twitched his back doing that. So it's quite a simple task. You wouldn't have thought that you'd do your back doing that, but it can happen. So he's done a bit of damage to the bottom of his back. He had last week off. He just worked from home, doing a bit of paperwork and stuff. A couple of physio visits, and he's come good. He should be back late this morning. He'll have one more physio this morning, but he should be okay. So it's very easy. You know, back was cold in the morning. You know, so yeah, he should all be good today for that, hopefully.
It was Fussy, if everyone's wondering.
Oh, sorry, yeah, Colin Fuss.
It's a big person, isn't it?
Yeah, so, no, he's all good, he'll be back this morning.
So the radios, everyone's seen them go on the trucks. We're looking for volunteers to start using it for switching. Daryl's heading that up, he's got all the information, he's ran us through it. So if you're confident and you want to have a go, have a chat to Daryl or the six and we can try that.
We just want to start with simple sheets first. We've got live line tabs, some radial switching. So we don't want to confuse people or add any more anxiety to people today in regards to switching, but corporate directive is to move forward with the radios. So if we start with really simple sheets, just get used to the techniques, understand how they work, and give the guys at the knock, the high voltage controllers, an opportunity to start to get used to it too. Because they don't currently use them a lot in the metro area. Country boys do, but so it's a really soft rollout. Take our time to do it, make sure we're comfortable.
All reports they're better, the crews like them. Everyone can hear what's going on with switching. If Benny's coordinating switching, everyone can hear what Benny's saying to the high voltage controller. So it seems to be safer and a smarter way to go.
The two trucks that haven't got them, I've got quotes, and we'll be moving ahead with that today, tomorrow, so they'll get installed. So that's the two Nifties, I reckon, Sean, isn't it?
We've got yes. It's truck maybe doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, it doesn't matter. No. Well, so yeah, we'll move ahead with that. Got quotes on late Friday.
Material bays are getting pretty full. If you guys have work, make sure you clear the bays out and put it in their return. We've got Bruce doing his best to take over Greeny's job and do everything else is going on. We've got some large projects coming in with the Plex. You can see that's taken up a whole line of bays. We've got Gunplex coming up as well. We're just running out of space real quick, so if somebody issues you a job, check the bay first. If it's not in the bay, take it out of stores, but clear the bay.
Who's interested in working with Bruce and Renzi? Is Renzi, you know, so we'll volunteer Renzi, go to chat with him. We seem to be, what Bruce highlighted, Greeny's just been doing it a bit, we've tried to work it out before. We order a heap of material because some people want to change all the fittings and some don't. When they do a pole, they want to, it's easy to dress it on the ground and get that. And other crews, we're just going to shift the old stuff over because either way is fine as far as our client goes. But then we have every second job, we get a heap of material booked out from Angle Park, comes on a truck here, go unload it, put it in a bay, and then half of it's left over, and then it comes back, and then either goes into our store if we can, or we got to book it back in and goes back on the truck to Angle Park. We seem to be double handling a lot of material for nothing. So is anyone here who wants to put their hand up to work with Bruce and Renzi, otherwise I'll volunteer. Dan, good on you. Actually, that's a good one because you'll understand the process. Alright. Got that, Bruce? Dan's your man. Alright.
Finished off with a safety alert. So this one was pretty serious, but I don't understand why it come through as minimal. But low voltage mains on ground and dog received a shot. So this was event day 20th of the 5th, 2020 up at Mount Barker, Milnes Road, Strath. Crews are called to a wire down in Strath on arrival. To site, they approached the customer and informed them that the wire was live and the dog had received an electric shock from touching the down wire with its nose. So I don't know why that's minimal, that's pretty serious. Area was cordoned off and de-energized to repair the conductor. It was discovered that the cause was a wire falling to the ground, that the wrong size dead end grip was installed, so it was on copper conductor. Everyone knows how confusing copper conductor is, but it's a result of getting it wrong. All other phases were checked and found to be the same grip, so they're all changed. So the grip looks old, so I don't know how long it was up, it doesn't say, but so one time's fairly corroded as well. So the wrong size grip was used on conductors, obviously, and strong winds caused the wire to gradually slip through and fall to the ground. So the corrective actions, the dog was checked by the vet. I think the dog's fine, I'd say. Incident highlights the importance of using the correct part for the job. Also, important to treat all conductors alive until proven dead. So I think that probably would have been a little bit more serious in my eyes, a live conductor on the ground and a dog getting a shot, but that's come through as minimal and potential level moderate. So with everyone on standby on your range, just treat all conductors as live on the ground. I've come across it, many of you guys have before, so don't just take it for granted that's dead. A couple other things. So Seb today's going to run his job for the first time. He's going to take charge of Dan's job. So get around him. Hopefully he goes all right. I doubt that he won't, but a couple of low voltage bowls. And so the switching mentors, they've standardised CNSs. I've been sending in a lot of briefs lately. I've noticed that the low voltage switching sheets are all slightly different, only in the slightest of ways, but that's going to be the next thing we're going to standardise. So we'll start with that next week. I'll talk to Nick and Reese and Cam and we'll get something happening there. But that's all I got.
I had a couple of things. Nick, was there anything from the switching debriefs at all last week, or that was Cam?
No, not a lot. We didn't have a hell of a lot of switching last week. Just while it's fresh, I was going to bring up Fridays. We had a switching sheet fall over because an air brake wouldn't open. A flick blade gets stuck and bend. So that was good checking from Shawnee and Ben to pick that up on site. Apart from that, it was a pretty straightforward week for this side. Something to highlight from the north side is the importance of calling on to Electronet when we go into shared subs. There's a bit of misunderstanding between guys what was required, so just remember if we go to a shared sub, give Electronet a call that we're in there. They probably won't care too much, but it needs to happen. So
And that's when you leave too?
that's when you leave too. Sometimes they can take you in and out if you want to be quick, but yeah, just give them a call.
So how do we identify a shared sub other than there's bigger shit in there?
We should have Electronet signage on the front of it, and obviously have wire rated.
Don't have Electronet keys as well.
Sorry, mate.
What, cyber keys? All shared subs now?
There should be cyber keys, but they can still be a transmission key.
Gentleman on my right here, he's been, how long have you been with us, Mike?
Started week 7.
Okay, the first time I've seen him in person, but we've seen each other on the screen a fair bit. So, Mike Corser is the Powering Ahead program manager. So, the program is looking to make a lot of gains, efficiency gains, improve our business across Sapphire, but end of it, importantly for Mike. So he's been 7 weeks and not been able to meet many people, so that's been tough.
It's great to see humans in the flesh then.
Yeah.
G'day guys, how are you?
And Nikki's going to hang around and they're going to sit in on one of the switching briefs that's going to come up now, and then she'll hang around for the next toolbox as well. So if you've got any questions in the meantime, Nikki, did you want to say anything? No? No? Okay. And the lovely looking gentleman on Nikki's right, sorry Leo, got to get your glasses. Leo's going to, he's heading for greener pastures over to Melbourne in a couple of weeks' time to take up a role there. So I think he's leaving now. He don't have to put money on the bar because there's no bar open. So whoever's working with Leo in the next 2 weeks, just make sure his head's in the game and he's not already moved to Victoria and the lovely sunny weather they have over there. But if you're working with Leo, just make sure that he keeps focused in the next 2 weeks. So, thank you, Leo, for your contribution here. Recognise in front of everyone, but we'll, yeah. So best of luck over in Melbourne.
Thanks, mate. And on behalf of my wife as well as my family, Pennerville is a big part of my heart. And thank you so much as well.
Thank you. Well, have a safe day. It's going to be a bit wet, but the weather's getting better.